With great power comes great responsibility. And if you're weak, both mentally and physically, one, you're not prepared to defend your ideas, but especially if you're mentally weak, this is such a big point of it. If you're mentally weak and you're concerned in your own mind about even living day-to-day life because you find it such a struggle, there's no way you're going to take on a larger battle than yourself. Why is it hard to work out that if your body is efficient and doing what it's supposed to do and strong and is optimal, then your mind is probably going to follow? What's there complicated to understand that habits, which are beneficial to you, are going to allow you to build a more disciplined, to be a more motivated individual, and also change your objective reality? I think the universe is a very giving place. I think that God is very giving. I think that in reality, objective reality, if you truly try your best, you'll get it. I've yet to meet somebody, maybe you can correct me, who eats right, goes to the gym every day, and trains as hard as they could, who is not in fantastic shape. I've never seen it. Once you realize that you don't have the mental fortitude to get up and change yourself, then the last thing you want is mental self-accountability. The world is competitive, and there's going to be people who do better than you. And sooner or later, regardless of how you organize or structure a system, the people who work harder or are smarter or more inventive or do better are going to end up with a better scenario or a better situation. I don't pray for an easy life. I pray for a life of difficulty that allows me to become a better and better person. I pray to become more competent to handle problems. So people are basing their mindsets around trying to feel good. I have always tried to base my mindset around absolute competence regardless of how I feel. And there are certainly disadvantages to that. There are times you're going to be a lot more pessimistic, or you're going to be a lot more stressed, or a lot more, pissed off about certain things than others. Yeah, that can be seen as a downside, but like I said, I use all of those things for unlimited motivation to propel my endless upward trajectory. But if you construct a mindset that allows you to be as competent as possible, as opposed to feel any different or feel better, then you're going to naturally come to the conclusions I've come to. You're as competent as possible if you believe you can affect absolutely everything about your life. You're as competent as possible if you believe absolutely everything that's happened to you, whether good or bad, is completely your fault. You're as competent as possible if you believe the bad things that happen to you are going to allow you to work harder and become even better. Never, and that's the point of a mindset. Why would you have a mental model or a mentality that made you anything less? In the ultra competitive world that we've just discussing that everybody wants the things you have, why would you absorb information or construct a mental model that doesn't allow you to be as competitive as possible? How I feel doesn't cross my mind. I don't know how else to explain it. There are days where I'm pissed off or sad or happy. It doesn't cross my mind. It's just like I woke up, whatever mood I happen to be in, I have things I need to do. It's a busy day. I had a meeting with the bank at 7:15 a.m. I have shit to do. I didn't cross my mind if I was happy, sad, excited. I just had to work. So I think my mental model, to a degree, I'm certainly not a person who doesn't feel emotions, because we're all human. I certainly do. But I've never prioritized them in any regard. I haven't built a mental model that I haven't put them in the middle of my mental model and then affected my actions based on how I feel for each one. It's absolutely and completely the opposite. I would love to do a podcast on a day where I'm particularly sad and a podcast on a day when I'm particularly happy, and I guarantee you wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. So that's what allows me to be competitive, right? Because if you're competitive, if you want to be the most competitive predator on the planet, you have to be able to hunt in the day and the night. You have to be able to do both. You have to be able to perform when you're happy and sad. You can't only be able to perform when you're happy. You can't only go to the gym when you're motivated. You can't only be a competent person when your life's going well, because when your life's not going well, you're no longer competent. If you're not prepared to defend or fight, then you're going to be destroyed.